Hello everyone, welcome to the mobile arena. This is part 3 of the series that I'm doing, Android to iPhone, where I myself, after using Android for 2 years, is switching over to the iPhone to try out and see what all the hype is about and see how the phone works. Now it's been around 2 weeks since I've been using this, so I'm just going to go over the pros and cons of using the iPhone and switching to it from Android. I've repeated some of the things I said before, such as the smoothness and the apps and the keyboard, but one of the things that I want to talk about specifically is how the settings are all in one place. What I mean by that is, for Android, for each application such as phone, messaging, notes, or calendars, the settings are all incorporated in the app itself. So if I were to check out my phone settings, I would have to go here and go to the settings there. However, for Android, the settings are all incorporated in the settings application itself. Even like third-party ones such as these ones, the settings are there most of the time. So before I thought that was actually a bad thing, since I couldn't go to it from the application. But now that I've gotten used to it, I think it might actually be a much easier way of finding out your settings and going to settings this way. Sadly, even though I don't want to be only favoring the con side, but a lot of the other things that I've said has already been mentioned, such as the Beast keyboard, which I still think is very amazing and very fun to use. But unfortunately, I already mentioned it in the video before, as well as the great quality of apps. I already reviewed some of the apps, but as you can see, like just the apps I bought here, they're all very smooth and very lag free, no bugs, and they're very fun as well. So I think Apple always does a great job of giving us the best quality applications out there. But now we have to go on to the cons. I'm not sure if it's only my phone. I've talked to some people and I've also heard that problem for them. And the problem that I'm talking about is the Wi-Fi problem in general. So I'm having trouble holding on to the Wi-Fi network when I have Wi-Fi, especially if I turn off and maybe turn off for a few minutes, even like just 2 minutes. The Wi-Fi icon will be gone and then I'll have to go into settings to deal with it again. And you can say that that's found in a lot of other applications, but the thing is, I'm looking at Apple right now, this product, as it should be near to perfect. If I'm paying that much for this kind of premium device, I'm expecting that it should have no flaws such as this one. But I'm still getting some, so that is frustrating. The next thing is that sometimes when I receive a text from either from WhatsApp or even from the messaging application, and I'm not in the messaging app, say I'm here just scrolling, it will suddenly freeze. So if I was scrolling like that, it wouldn't go here, it would just stop here for like 3 to 4 seconds. And of course, the first time that happened, I was trying to see if it was more reaction. The first time that happened, I was trying to see if it was like the reaction problem, but that only made things worse because I was registering more touches. So whenever it froze, I just had to leave it and make sure that, wait for it to load itself. So that was an annoyance, and something that I would not expect from an Apple device. The next thing is the fact that the apps can't run well in the background, except if we're talking about like a timer app or maybe the metronome one, where if I close it or I leave it, it will run. But some apps, like utility apps such as the battery doctor, if I leave it, it will freeze in that place, so it won't be timing when I leave the application. So sometimes I forget to stay in the application when I close the device, and I end up overcharging the iPhone. Lag, I already mentioned a little about how occasionally there's some hiccups when I'm swiping, or there's power button lag too. Sometimes when I receive a message and I press the power button, I have to press it a few times and it ends up flashing on and off because it has to register all the clicks. Now the final thing I want to talk about is the smart dialer. The fact that it lacks the smart dialer I thought it wouldn't be bothering me as much, but it's actually bothering me quite a lot. The reason being is I'm used to it on Android, and what the smart dialer is say if you want to contact someone and you are here, you don't have to go into contacts. Say if I wanted to contact Ted, and just press the letters on the keypad, so TED, and then it will show Ted on this one of the listed contacts, and I can just go from there. But the iPhone doesn't have this function. Instead, the only way is to go into contacts. And I know some people can just say that just go into contacts and find who you're looking for is not that big of a deal, but it's more like I'm accustomed to it on Android to be able to go into contacts just from the dialer pad. So it makes it a lot more versatile that I can add numbers, but I can also look for people like Ted on the dialer pad. Because of that, I've been having trouble adjusting. This is week 2 of the series, and these are all the pros and cons that I found for this device. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the next part, and I will see you next time.